Hello and welcome to F1 Now. In this video, we're going to be giving you the biggest winners and losers to the Belgian Grand Prix Sprint weekend. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so another great Formula One weekend, excluding the sprints. I have to start off with that because honestly, sprint quali was more entertaining than the sprint race itself. Now, with that, my biggest winner or winners for this one is undoubtedly Hamilton and Ferrari. What a weekend for this team, filled with ups and downs. The weekend for them had a tricky start with trying to get to grips with their new rear suspension in just one practice session. Leclerc seemed to just hit the ground running and be right there with the top guys, and for Lewis it was looking to be a weekend to forget, with having a bad sprint quali and race ending Saturday outside of the points. But what a great turnaround for him during the race. He seemed to be playing at 50% hard while the others were on 90%. With the way he kept running them down in the first 20 laps of the race, I think Ferrari should be very pleased with how their car now performs in wet conditions. It looks to be right on par with the pace of the McLarens. But back to Hamilton. 11 places gained in a total, with that added master pit strategy call to pit him for the mediums first, enabling him to jump a lot of cars out there. But I have a feeling, considering he was only able to perform in the main race and not on Saturday and Friday, also adding to the fact that he couldn't get close enough to Leclerc, who got a podium finish because of being stuck behind Albon, will still make this a weekend to forget for Hamilton. Now, because we are heading to Hungary, another one of his stomping grounds, he will be looking to right a lot of wrongs from this weekend. Again, I want to make a special mention to the Ferrari strategy because they caught a lot of teams off guard with that move with Hamilton. And hopefully they realize that it's bold calls like that, utilizing the power of the tires, is the missing piece to a solid race result for them. Next on the winners list will have to be Piastri. What a comeback from this guy. In Silverstone, he was going to win that race without the penalty, but Lando got that one. But man, did he pull probably the biggest mugging on track for this year on that first racing lap on Lando. To be fair, Lando messed it up for himself with how he chose to have that safety car start. But it's yet another weekend in which we see the guy who's clearly not the fastest in that McLaren car win the race and maintain the lead purely because of having that mental edge. Again guys, I'm still calling it and saying Piastri will win this championship, and wow, what a job well done for Williams the whole weekend. Although Sainz couldn't be in the points on Sunday, he was able to get at least 3 points in the sprint. Albon on the other hand fought all throughout the main race, putting up a solid defense against Hamilton to see him finish the race 6th. Now, this haul of points has bumped Williams' points tally up to 70, which is seriously incredible, being that we are only halfway in the season. It is very possible that they might hit the 100 mark come Abu Dhabi. Now, all of this means they are almost double ahead of the closest contender. Another surprise performer, that is Kick Sauber. I mean, no one could have predicted that Williams will be right behind Red Bull in the standings, or even the fact that they might be neighbors next year in the paddock. Now, my biggest loser for this one will have to be Lando. Once again, Lando seems to just fall apart when the pressure is piled on. And has no one noticed that this seems to be commonly happening when he must challenge his teammates out on track? But definitely a weekend which might have a negative effect on him moving on to Hungary, because the momentum has now shifted back to Piastri. And for this one, Lando will have no one to blame but himself, because even with conceding the lead on that dreadful start, the strategy on hards gave him a fighting chance to claw back what was lost in lap time, and he was doing just that, consistently running faster than Piastri up front. But he kept making mistakes, losing time that would have given him the opportunity to overtake Piastri for the win. Another major loser for me in this one, surprisingly, is the FIA. I know safety comes first and that must be respected, but the race could have started way earlier, or they could have went for more laps behind the safety car at the original starting time. The way the FIA are going with this, it just makes no sense as to why the wet tires or even the inters should be included in the allocation, because we won't get a race in the conditions that require them. Now that is it for my Belgian Grand Prix sprint weekend biggest winners and losers. I really want to hear your guys' opinions on how the FIA and Formula One handled the start of this race. So with that, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Once again, thank you and bye for now.